Andy chairing the commission, and we're very happy to welcome everyone here. We're in the multi-state office building in Salt Lake City, and there's certainly, I don't know about among you, but among the commissioners and the staff here, a festive atmosphere. We're very happy today for a lot of reasons to be here and to have this meeting with you. I think it's going to be pretty straightforward. We'll have some introductions in a moment, our commissioners, and we have a couple online. We'd like to start, however, this morning, as is traditional, with the Pledge of Allegiance. That will be led by Rob Hansen, who's our training and program manager. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Once again, good morning to everyone, and would just like to, as I like to do, just those of you who are in the audience and those online, introduce who we are, who are sitting here on the dais in the room today. So we have our commissioners, Tara Tui. Commissioner Juliet Tennant is walking in the door. Hello, making a grand entrance, Commissioner Tennant. That's terrific. There you are, right there. Commissioner Jacqueline Orton to my right. Commissioner Chris Conaby here to my left. And on line, we have, do we have Vice Chair Terrazon online? No, but I know she's traveling and would like to join us if she can. But we do have Commissioner Owens online as well, and we welcome you. I'd like to introduce you to and recognize our excellent staff at the department. To my left is Erica Evans. She's the executive director. Todd Darrington, our deputy director of finance administration. Brian Swan here. To my left, the deputy director of legal and regulatory affairs. Jeremy Summerlat, managing director of operations. Doug Murakami, who has an item for us today, director of alcohol education. Brooke McCarrick, we welcome you, Brooke. Brooke is our Assistant Attorney General assigned to the department. She is new, and we are grateful for your attention and your participation. Michelle Schmidt is in the audience. She's our Communications Director. Craig Ware is our Compliance Administrator. We introduced you to Rob Hansen, our Training Program Manager. And to his right is Stephanie Hansen, our off-premise program manager. Aaron Hinkle, our violations program manager. Jeff Colvin, hello, Jeff, our package agency and manufacturing program manager. And Jorge Corona Leva, our on-premise program manager. We welcome you, Jorge. This is your second time with us in your new position, and we welcome you. To my right here is with our technical assistants, Joe Ferrari and Steve Lucero, both work in licensing and compliance, and Melissa Suarez, our interim executive assistant, and we're going to fix that just in a few minutes. You don't have to be interim any longer. And I want to just note to all of you that you might note that we have our proposed meeting schedule in 2026, the first 2 months. We meet on the last Thursday, so January 29th we'll be here, and February 26th we'll be back here. You might know also that on holidays, our stores are closed. December 25th, of course, a week from today, Christmas. Then the next Thursday, January 1st, and upcoming very soon, Monday, January 19th, Martin Luther King Day. And it's not lost any of us that the legislative session starts the next day. Okay. We know some of you will have public comments, and we welcome that at the end of our discussion. Those present, please complete the form located, if you haven't done already, at the back entrance to the room. And those participating virtually who would like to speak with us, you'll be able to do that as well. I want to note just one thing on the agenda. We have items 15 and 16 that have been pulled from the agenda, and we will not be addressing items 15 and 16. So the first item now is from our alcohol education director, Parents Empowered update. And we have some excellent statistics here, Doug. So the time is now yours, sir.
Thank you, Chair Handy. Good morning, commissioners. Last week, the 2025 Utah Student Health and Risk Prevention Survey, known as the SHARP survey. That data was released. We've been anxiously awaiting to see what the results are about. I would like to provide you a little bit of background on the SHARP survey. It's administered every other year by the Utah Department of Health and Human Services. This year, they surveyed over 78,000 students. And this covers, I believe it's about 39 school districts. Students are surveyed on a variety of health, safety, and risk and protective factors. And we're very fortunate to have this report. It's robust, it's verified. Prevention needs assessment is so valuable to what we do. We get our underage drinking use rates in Utah from this report. So I'd like to talk about a little bit about that. And we've got a chart up here now. Before we start talking about the numbers that we're seeing, let me describe, first of all, the three standards of alcohol measurement. One is lifetime use. This means having used on at least one occasion in their life. And then we look at 30-day use, which is having used on one or more occasions in the past 30 days. That's kind of thought of as regular alcohol use. And then binge drinking is having 5 or more drinks on one or more occasions. And that constitutes binge drinking. Oh, and that's in the past 2 weeks. So what you're looking at here, this chart, is the youth alcohol use past 30-day use trends, beginning back in 2005 up to 2025. And what you're seeing, really for the first time since 2017, an uptick or an increase in underage drinking use rates from 3.4% in 2023 to 3.8% in 2025. So that is concerning because it is moving up. And then if we can shift to the next slide, please. This breaks down the use rates by grades. As you can see, 6, 8, 10, and 12. Use rates for grade 6 and 8 have gone up. Each column represents a different year, but if you look at the last 2 columns in each section there, 6 and 8s have gone up slightly. 10th grade has remained the same, and 12th grade use rates for underage drinking has actually decreased. Next slide. This slide shows all 3 measures of youth alcohol use over time since 2005. The top line there shows lifetime use. And then, of course, we talked about the slight uptick in 30-day use. And then binge drinking is down as well as lifetime use. So what does this mean? We've been saying for quite some time that because the numbers have gone down, trended downward for so long, at some point we're going to hit the bottom, right? And so we're looking at that little uptick as maybe we have hit the bottom. And so we're going to certainly track that upward trend there on 30-day use. And if I may, commissioners, we just got the information last week, and if we can take some time to analyze the data a little further, maybe come back at the next commission meeting, provide more detail and analysis of what the data is telling us. So if that works, this completes my report.
Thank you, Doug. We'd love to have that. I want to note that my takeaway is that over the course of the Parents Empowered campaign that we hear about and that we view and we know about out there, that it's working. I believe that there's great education in that and that it's working.
We certainly like where the trends have gone. It's obviously a team effort. It's everyone in the state really taking the time to address underage drinking prevention. So thank you.
Any other comments or questions from commissioners? Commissioner Tennant?
Great. Thank you, Chair. Doug, thanks for this great information, and totally would appreciate coming back and digging in a little further, I'll just ask that, it's not really a question, but just, just a request. But as you dig into the data and, try to wrap your arms around what feels like potentially is a bit of a change in trend, if you can think about, and maybe work with us on, is there some different type of intervention that's needed now? So to Chair Handy's point, I think this really is, a good illustration of the great success of the work that you've been doing and that all families in Utah have been doing. But now if we're in this new place, does the same intervention continue to work? Do we just double down a little bit more on that, or is there some other intervention? Thank you.
Will do. That's a great point. And yeah, just what we've looked at within the past week, it's interesting how the younger grades slight uptick versus you've got the 12th graders actually decreasing. So I think there's something there to look at and really try to analyze further. So yeah, appreciate that comment.
Anything else, Commissioners?
Sure.
Commissioner Tui.
Doug, when you dig in and analyze this data like you've done in the past, how do you compare it with other states? Do other states have the same survey tool, or is this unique?
It's not necessarily unique. Most other states, Utah does the SHARP survey from 6th grade up to 12. Most, it's called the Monitoring the Future survey. Other states use that. That begins in 8th grade. So we've got even more data available to us. So, but yeah, most states do look at some sort of a statewide monitoring system.
I'd be interested in your analysis if you could talk to us about national trends in these age groups, and then also maybe other similarly situated states in Idaho, Montana, Colorado, sort of thing.
Happy to do that.
Thank you.
Sure.
I like that a lot. Commissioner Conaby.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. And I don't know if this is taboo or not, because we don't, we stay in our lane in alcohol beverage services, but we also probably need to look at, when you do conduct your surveys, what other things are kids doing? And, is our trend a real trend, or are we just substituting something else for what used to be alcohol? And I think that would be, I don't know if we have access to that data, but I think that could be really important data for us to look at.
That's a good point. The SHARP survey really covers a lot of different areas, certainly different substance abuse areas such as vaping and marijuana and those other types of drugs. So yeah, something to look at for sure.
Yeah, and I think, I just don't want anyone undermining your great work. Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Doug, what did you say again? What was the sample size?
78,000 Utah students. As compared to 2023, it was a little smaller, about 54,000. So we got a good sample this year.
Well,
Chair,
thanks. Please, Commissioner Tui.
does that include homeschool students?
It actually does not. I know there are charter schools that are involved and one private school, but I don't believe they have any data on them.
I just thought of that just because there's been a trend in more homeschooling and charter school. I don't know how that impacts the survey, but something else to think through. Thank you.
We'll check back and see where they're at with that.
Yeah, another interesting note. Thank you very much. I want to make note that we welcome our Vice Chair, Jennifer Terrazon, who's online with us. We welcome you, Commissioner. She's joining us from an undisclosed location.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. All right. We now are at our financial update. Mr. Darrington, Todd Darrington, please, our Finance Director.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning to everyone. The period for today's financial report will be period 5 of fiscal year 2026, or the period that ends November 30th of 2025. We had a chance to discuss these numbers. I'll go over them quickly and handle any questions you might have. For the period, you will see that we were down about $1.5 million from fiscal year 25 to fiscal year 26. That leads to a $21.1 million in total revenue for that period. We did see a slight decline from the period previously, and we were benefited by the decrease in our cost of liquor sold to kind of help mitigate those declines. Our expenses, however, were slightly up year over year, and that's related to the timing of some of the credit card transactions as we've normalized through this process. You will see that we were able to generate about $8 million to return to the general fund for this period. And for the year to date, we're at about 34 million, on pace to have a healthy return overall still. And in large part, the decline we saw in this month, I believe, is a temporary situation as opposed to indicative of a larger trend. Any questions I can answer this morning?
Yeah, and we're all looking at the school lunch, 4.4 public safety, that Mr. Murakami's area, and the Pamela Atkinson Homeless Fund.
Yes.
Questions from commissioners? Commissioner Orton, please.
Is the percent of change because we didn't have numbers line? What? I don't understand the percent of change on the Pamela Atkinson Homeless Fund.
Yeah.
On the 99% change, and the 620% change.
Really like that number because it makes it look like I'm doing a great job. No, it is exactly for that reason. The Pamela Atkinson Homelessness Roundup Fund launched last November, was only live for about 8 days of the fiscal month. So this first period is going to look very stark. There was a lot of initial contribution for the fund. So that's why you'll see such a large year-to-date number change. And in this current month, it was available for the entire month, and we were able to see almost 100% more donations this time than last. It's kind of nice to say that last year we generated that much in just a week. It's an impressive number, really, when you get down to it.
Get to a 620% change.
Because we've had 5 periods of this fiscal year, where last year we had 1 week. So the change is 500 times more because we've had more opportunity for Roundup, and that's really where that stems from. Great.
Commissioner Tenner?
Thank you. And this may be, you know, for ongoing discussion, but just to ask it now. Yeah, so the numbers are down. So even if we just look at revenue, we're selling less.
Correct.
Do I read it that way?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a
Okay.
combination of a decline in the total dollars spent, but also a change in the type of products purchased.
Okay, thank you. And I mean, depending on policy, how you come at that, that may be a good thing. It may be a bad thing. It may be a neutral thing. I guess I come from kind of a revenue forecaster working for the state, worried about funding the school lunch program, worried about funding the public safety program. I mean, I guess what I'm going to ask is that will you please just keep track of this and keep us updated? And if there needs to be some sort of policy intervention to increase that, we'd like to know what that would be.
Absolutely. That's a constant conversation for us within the department to make sure we have good identifiers. We're sure our stocked product is available, that we're doing what we can to ensure that the needs are met. Overall, we are seeing this as a national and international situation where there's kind of a flattening or a slight decline in sales. It's impressive to note this is the first time that the variance has been large enough that I would say decline. And so to have that be happening 5 months into the fiscal year is actually a really healthy place. We will continue to have internal conversations about that and continue to monitor it. I promise if I lose sleep, you're the first person I call.
I like my sleep. I'm going to start losing sleep. Thank you.
I just
Commissioner
wanted to make an observation that I almost made when Doug was doing his Parents Empowered report, but we are seeing significant drops nationally and internationally. And part of that, from what I hear, is that being like, especially among adults, which made me wonder if it had an effect on the high school age groups drop in alcohol use. Drinking isn't seen as being as cool. Like drinking alcohol isn't seen as being as cool amongst kind of the, you know, I guess 18, 25 age group. So anyway, I just wondered if there's a correlation or some kind of connection there between what we're seeing in the Sharp survey and what we're seeing here in our revenue.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point. We'll definitely look into seeing what the data can tell us. Always wanting to make sure we're careful about what information we have from our stores. Don't want anything we don't need to have. So we'll have to see where those data points intersect, and we'd be happy to report on anything we find out.
Right. And it goes to what Commissioner Conaby said earlier about the fact that it would be interesting to know what's replacing that use. So anyway.
Absolutely.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Director, you had something?
Yeah, I'll just add in. I mean, Todd answered exactly how we've been talking about this, how we've been thinking about this. It's something we continue to talk about internally and with each of you. I just want to say that we also have been partnering with our other control state partners and seeing what they're seeing if we're consistent, seeing if they have ideas that we don't. And so just I want to put that on the record for you guys as well. Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Commissioner Conby?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll be brief. I think we've talked about this privately a little bit, at least I have with some staff members. 61% of our net operating income goes to transfer to other funds for public services, right? And when we're in a decreasing revenue environment with decreasing use for whatever reason, we can look to operations and to lean out operations. I can tell you with great certainty from my limited experience the last 6 months, including stocking beer bottles last week, is a heavily intensive, heavily human endeavor of moving product and logistics. And I think the division operates at the highest levels of best practices, as best I can tell, having run some businesses. And I don't think there's a lot of margin to capture there, right? So what we really need to look at is revenue. And we're in a business where we may not want to just go out and advertise and increase revenue. So that's tough. But we do have a little bit of a backdoor in Evanston and Las Vegas that I think we need to address. And I've said both privately and have said publicly, I don't think anybody that's running to Evanston or to Las Vegas to do something illegal understands that 61% of that revenue went to something that was a public endeavor to help their fellow Utahn.
Yeah.
And Utahns have a great history of helping one another, and we have great practices in volunteerism. And I don't know if that's something that the legislature wants to market or would choose to market, but I think that's important that we start speaking about that, because I think there's a way to get those revenues back in line by having people understand where their money's going. So that would be my comment, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Really excellent insights, commissioners. Thank you very much for that discussion. We'll move now to Director Evans and to Jeremy on operations update.
Yep. And Jeremy's going to take our operations update
Thank you.
today.
Thank you, commissioners. So this is lovely. I've got two very brief but important things to share with you and the public. Number one, our RHDP program is active, and the department is highlighting Old Forester Birthday Bourbon 2025. The registration is currently open and will close on December 21st, and winners will be randomly selected on the 22nd. Registrants can visit the DAB's website to enter that drawing. And then just a kind of a fun thing about community service. All 52 state liquor stores are partnering with their local charities and their local communities to support their local communities as in a service project across the state of Utah. Employees of the state stores chose the particular causes that they want to support, including food pantries, children and family services, and animal rescues. Incidentally, it's funny that we contribute more to animal rescue than we do to people. It just cracks me up, but we do. The DABs launched this donation drive in 2023. It was so successful and such an exciting endeavor for the state store employees, that they wanted to continue this holiday charitable event. So the customers, we really appreciate the overwhelming support from the people of Utah and the customers of the liquor stores. Folks can visit the DAB's website to see the list of charities being supported by each one of our state liquor stores. And lastly, donations will be collected through February 28, 2026. So it goes beyond the Christmas season and into winter. So if you'd like to participate, we welcome you to do that. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Questions? We're good to move on. All right, Director, go ahead. Next item on the department appointment.
Thank you, Chair. So some good news today. Most of you know Melissa Suarez down at the end. She has stepped into the role of executive assistant over the last month or so, having previously served in our compliance division, done a great job there supporting the commission. We're excited to have asked her to serve in this role permanently, and it's an appointed position. So it goes to all of you for a vote. Just want to publicly thank Melissa. She's jumped right in, done a great job. It's been a pretty seamless transition after our previous executive assistant's retirement, and just really grateful to have her as part of our team.
Yes, we are grateful to have you here, Melissa. Congratulations. And let's go ahead and take care of this as I said we would. Please, a motion to approve the proposal on the making this permanent. Commissioner Orton, please.
I'll move that we approve her appointment.
Thank you. A second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Conaby, thank you very much. Any further discussion? I'll just say it, Melissa, you're just doing a great job in my the 2-month dealing here with you. Thank you very much, and you're going to do even better in the future. And we welcome you very much. Welcome you. Thank you for everything. All in favor of this proposal that Melissa Suarez, she becomes now the executive assistant. We remove the interim title. All in favor, say aye.
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 And that got our commissioners online too. Thank you very much. Okay. Director Evans, you are going to, yeah, whoa, hey, yeah, there you go. Hey, thank you very much. Thank you for doing that. Yeah. A little bit of a formality, but really serious as because the commissioners, we're all part-time and we need that communication, that constant communication of what's going on. And the director is busy and the staff is busy. So the executive assistant, manages the commission. So we're going to say that. She says, no, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. All right, Director Evans, you're going to talk about the 5-year building plan.
Sure. So each of you have had a chance to review the 5-year building plan. It's in your packets. Utah code requires the department to submit a 5-year building plan to the legislature annually. And the plan is informed by a market survey, which we, by Utah code as well, conduct every other year. It's also informed by current population growth and density projections, replacement and remodel needs for some of our older stores, and then an analysis of locations within the state where maybe there's access to a store is limited. And then it also details projected costs for new construction and remodels based on the data that we have right now. In the plan, you'll see that those stores that have previously been approved and funded by the legislature are in process. Specifically, we have the new store in Moab set to open in February, and then new stores in Park City and Washington City are in development. As I said, the commission is responsible for approving store locations, which are all detailed in that 5-year plan. Whether stores in the 5-year plan move forward is contingent on funding authorization from the legislature. And with that, I'm happy to answer questions, or you can entertain a motion to approve.
Thank you. Questions from commissioners? Comments? Questions? I'm just impressed with the advanced planning that is done and so critical and so necessary. These are significant expenditures, and this information to those online and in the room here with us, this is all in the information that's posted there, and the commissioners have had opportunity for more in-depth questions about these proposed stores and the completion. So that's very, very, very good. All right. We'll then move now. Commissioner Conaby, if you'd give us a motion to approve the plan.
Gladly, I'd like to have a motion to support the Department of Alcohol Beverages Services 5-year building plan.
Thank you. A second, please. Commissioner Tennert is the second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
And online, thank you, commissioners online. Thank you very much. All right. Now we will move, you have now the administrative rules. We've had quite a bit of discussion about this. You should know that the commission has broken up into 2 subcommittees, a compliance subcommittee and an operations subcommittee. So we meet prior to this official commission meeting on the last Thursday, typically. And we've had an opportunity to discuss in depth the next item, all of these items. So Director, please, go ahead.
Sure. Thank you, Chair. So changes to two different rules, R82-2-305 and then R82-2-308, both relating to type 2 and 3 package agencies. There is quite a bit of cleanup change that you'll see in the drafts, but largely there's two policy changes. One extends the payment or extends the date for payment by type 2 and 3 package agencies for liquor from 30 days to 60 days during times of economic hardship. So where sales have declined for a period of time, and then details that process for any information they provide to the department to make that happen. And then the second policy change is it's taking out largely outdated and difficult to interpret language that requires a package agency to serve a population of at least 6,000 people. And how that's calculated in the rule right now is a little bit difficult. So actually supports the Commission's ability to put package agencies in any location that makes sense across the state. So other than that, I'm happy to answer questions. And just a reminder as well, this vote is to allow the department to file the rule. It will then go through the administrative rulemaking process, which includes a public comment period that anybody who wants to advise or comment on can.
Yeah, I really appreciate the department's work on this. I mean, I think we've spent quite a bit of time this year with package agencies, our package agency renewals, as you recall, in May, and other additions. These are for those of you who don't know, in our rural areas that don't justify a full state store. These entrepreneurs, these business people, they have a contract with the department, and it's a complicated little animal that everyone's always trying to figure out as we go along, all the time. So any other questions from commissioners on the administrative rules? All right. And I think then we're ready for a motion to approve the proposed changes. And as the director has explained, this is kind of the first step as it moves forward and can be changed and tweaked going forward. Commissioner Orton.
I was just going to move that we allow the department to go ahead and file the rule.
Thank you. And a second, please. Commissioner Tennant, a second. All in favor of the motion as stated, please say aye.
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 Thank you. Thank you, commissioners. That is unanimous. We'll now move, Brooke, now this is your first opportunity to address us, item number 10. These are the violations that will be included on as a consent calendar. There are 15 on our list here. Go ahead, please, Brooke.
As the chair mentioned, we have 15 items on the consent calendar. We have obtained settlement agreements for all 15. They may be considered as a block vote. And unless one of the commissioners has any questions, they are ready for commission action.
Thank you. And as indicated, we've had an opportunity to review these in our packet and in our subcommittees. Any comments or questions, commissioners? We ready to move ahead then? Commissioner Conaby, a motion, please, sir.
Yeah, I'd make a motion to approve item number 10, the violations for the consent calendar.
Thank you very much. And a second, please. A second from Commissioner Toohey. Thank you very much. Any further discussion? No. Seeing none, I'll call for the vote to place the motion that we approve item number 10, on the consent calendar, the 15 violation as settled and adjudicated. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Likewise is unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay. We're now at item 11. Back to you, Director Evans.
Yeah, I think we've got our list going up. So this month we have 93 licensees who passed their what we call the CUB inspection. So an inspection of whether or not they're selling to minors, and they are not. So happy to highlight these licensees. The CUB program is run by the Department of Public Safety and went into each of these all across the state. We see success in this area this month, and just want to have a shout out to these licensees and say thank you for being good business partners who operate legally and safely.
Thank you very much. And again, that list is publicly noted, and we congratulate these licensees for their great work and compliance. Any questions, comments from commissioners? We're now ready to have item number 12, and Craig Ware will now present the license reminders. Go ahead.
All right, thank you, Chair Handy. Just a public reminder that January 1st begins the renewal period for the following license types: restaurant beer only, on-premise beer retailer, beer recreational, on-premise beer retailer tavern, and the off-premise beer retailer state licenses. Again, that renewal period begins January 1st and ends on January 31st. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Craig. Item 13 is on the consent agenda. There are lots of items here, and that will be discussed and presented, including the approval of minutes from our November 20th meeting from Brian Swan, our Deputy Director of Legal and Regulatory Affairs. Go ahead, Brian.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. So as Chair Handy noted, the consent agenda is large. We have items A through K on the agenda and all of the respective license applicants under their respective license headings. I do want to bring your attention to a couple of items. As Chair noted, the approval of last month's minutes is item A, as written by Ms. Suarez. And then items B, the campaign results, items D, the local industry representative, and item H, those special use permit applicants will be effective January 1. Other than that, this agenda is ready for a block vote where, so the public and the applicants know, if you take this in a block vote and approve, all of these respective licensees will be approved. So unless you have a specific item that you want to pull aside and discuss separately, you can take all of these in one motion and vote.
Thank you very much, Brian. Commissioners?
Mr. Chair, I have a relationship with number F. I built the hotel. I don't have a direct financial relationship that would recuse me in the code, but I just feel more comfortable having my vote be through A through E and G onward. So just let the record note that my consent vote would not include a vote either way for item number F. That would be an abstaining vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. So noted. So when we get to a motion, what we will do is that we'll take A through, it will exclude F. We'll exclude F, and then we'll come back and take that separately so that we can vote on the others, A through K, excluding F, in a block vote if the commissioners so intend to do that. Make sense?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Motion.
Thank you.
I move that we approve the consent agenda items A through E and G through K.
Would second that.
And that has been seconded. Thank you very much. Any discussion, commissioners? Thank you. All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Thank you, commissioners online. Thank you. Another motion, please.
I'll make a motion that we approve item F, hotel sublicense for Goldner Hirsch.
Mr. Chair, I would abstain from that vote. Thank you.
Yes, Commissioner Conaby is abstaining. A second for Commissioner Orton, and noted Commissioner Conaby's abstention. All in favor of approving F, say aye.
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 Thank you very much. Those are approved. And now we will move to the next item. And these are the number 14 license applications consideration items. That is you, Rob. Thank you, Rob.
Good morning, Commissioners. For the bar applicants, we begin with 2 changes of ownership. We have the Den Bar in Magna. This is a sexually oriented adult entertainment bar, and Roxy's Pub in West Haven. Both of these applications are complete and ready for your consideration.
Thank you very much. A motion on these 2 license change of ownership.
Motion to approve as written in the staff report, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Conaby. A second, please. Commissioner Orton, a second. Thank you very much. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Opposed? That passes unanimously. Now, Rob, the second, the new applicants.
All right, so we have 32 full-year bar licenses available this month, and we have 5 applicants. All 5 of these are conditional. The first one is Sushi by Boo in Salt Lake City. Then we have Remora in Salt Lake City, Hobbled Dog Cidery in Logan, Hide and Seek, Salt Lake City, and then the last one's The Parlor in Park City. These applications are complete conditionally and ready for your consideration.
Thank you. I've seen a hobbled horse before, but I've never seen a hobbled dog. Maybe we should take a field trip. Go see that. I don't know. Okay. All right. Thank you. A motion, please. For a motion, please. Commissioner Orton.
I'll second.
And a second from Commissioner Tui. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll place the motion. All in favor of these new applicants, 5 of them, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed?
No.
All right, wait, one nay vote. Thank you very much. All right, that does pass, however. Thank you, Rob. As noted, items 15 and 16 have been pulled from the agenda. We're now at 17, and 17 on our item are comments from the commissioners, please, first, and then we'll have the public. Any comments from commissioners? Just to say thank you for your great work, Commissioner Conaby. You're a great addition to the commission. Thank you for bringing your expertise and your perspective. It's very valuable, all of you. We've had a busy year, haven't we? Lots of things to do, and a new director, Director Evans, came on the end of July, and dealing with lots of things. And I feel that the department's in really great shape and headed in a great direction. 2 new stores opened in Marriott Slaterville and in Roy, and other great things are happening. And we went through a lovely legislative audit, and we're working through that, make the corrections that need to be made there, and we're on top of it. All right. We'll now invite the public to come forward, and please give us, state your name and who you represent, if anyone, and where you live. That would be interesting to know too. And how many of you would like to address the commission? Just raise your hands. 1, 2 of you. Thank you. We've got time, about 3 minutes each. If you can do it like that, go ahead. Come forward, sir. Thank you.
Good morning and happy holidays to all of you.
Thank you.
I'm John Kenworthy. I own Flanagan's on Main in Park City, right dead in the heart of Park City, the heart of our state's hospitality. I live in Park City. I love Park City. We recently have seen a significant increase in digital IDs from out of state. And I just want you to make you aware that we can't accept those. The people that have been coming up over the last, I want to say 3 to 6 months, get extremely angry because they're legal in their states, including our neighboring state, Colorado. So we've seen an increase in those, and a lot from Louisiana too. So obviously we're the front door of hospitality. We want to be hospitable. These are legal. They don't have paper IDs. And I'm hoping that there's a solution coming quickly from the legislature and that you can help support some kind of solution. Thank you very much for your service.
Stand there for a second, John. Any questions for Mr. Kenworthy? Commissioner Tennant has a question.
Maybe not a question. I just
Comment?
wonder if our staff could provide
Yeah.
a little bit of clarity on the
Gonna
current
ask.
situation, because I know that there was a point in time where we were, even the stores were accepting. And as someone whose driver's license is somewhere in my house for the last 3 months and not on me right now, I appreciate the opportunity to use a digital license, although I do have my passport. But if the staff could provide a look in the current situation. And
We'll have the time to director here, and stay there, Mr. Kenworthy. Thank you. Thank you.
Can I mention that there is a solution for Utah digital licenses that were issued? There is a special app that we have to download, and that app allows us to take people from Utah with digital licenses. But they do not, there is no such app or
out of
something
state.
for the rest of the country.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The director's going to give us some perspective.
Yeah, so great question. Something that's come up over the years, to be fair. It is actually a driver's license division program, so outside of us, right? And whether or not that is a valid form of ID is up to them. But they do exist. There are programs that allow us to take them. I think the question here is maybe bigger than just digital IDs, right? It's about how to take out-of-state IDs, out-of-country IDs, and how that works in a place like Park City. We are actively talking to the legislature and providing information about those questions, and happy to continue to do so. Appreciate the feedback today. There is legislation going through right now that kind of follows up on legislation from last year with the 100% ID requirement. And so I think there will continue to be conversations and we can go from there. So.
Mr. Chairperson.
Commissioner Conaby.
Yeah. When we talk about legislation going through, do we know who's carrying that legislation or what that looks like if someone wanted to follow it online?
The bill passed through the Business and Labor Interim Committee, which means that the chairs of that interim committee take that over. I have not heard who is actually sponsoring it going forward. It was run by Representative Elison the year before, so he's a good contact. And just to be extra clear, as far as we understand from Driver's License Division, the mobile ID is valid. It is a software question, I think, and how you take that. So I just want to make that part clear as well.
Commissioner Tui.
Thank you, Director.
I just had a follow-up question, and maybe the commenter might know this. For those out-of-state digital IDs, I assume they would be recognized by the TSA, right?
I believe so, but I can check on that.
Just wonder, I mean, this seems more like an IT issue. I know with the state ID system, unfortunately, our state stores stopped taking the digital ID as proof of identity, which is unfortunate, but that is a funding issue that's left up to the legislature, and they decided to not give us that funding to maintain that service, which I hope we can restore. So thanks for the opportunity for allowing me to bring that up and pile on here. But I do feel like this might be an IT solution that we need to look at allowing our licensees to implement, because I believe our role as a commission and a department as well is to advocate on behalf of our licensees where we can. So I appreciate you bringing up this comment, and I do think it's something we should dig into.
Yeah, and licensees are allowed. So maybe the other place we start is education about that. So happy to keep working on that as well. Mm-hmm.
I mean, for out-of-state IDs.
Out-of-state.
We'll keep working. Yes.
Yeah.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you.
We certainly, Mr. Kenworthy, appreciate you coming today. And, we want to be known as a business-friendly state. And, I mean, you think this through and you think that is really stupid, is what you think. That's really stupid. Exactly. I mean, I'm saying what we're all thinking. And we don't want people coming to Park City and spending their money and skiing and summer or whatever they're doing, and to have something like that and to feel like, oh, you dumb Utahns, you just, you don't get it.
They get a little angry.
They do, and that's not good.
And they're exploding from the Colorado gas. So that's it's very significant.
Oh, yeah.
Many more people from Colorado just are bringing those. So I'm a little confused. Am I allowed to let them in?
Yeah, and we can talk offline about the details, but I think the question is largely software. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, clearly we can't scan them.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I promise.
Please feel free to have any other offline conversations with the department. Yeah, we want to understand the situation, and we will advocate with the legislature.
Yeah, it's significantly grown.
And I think Commissioner Tui's onto something there.
And it's recent, so let's try and get our arms around it together.
Thank you very much for sharing this with us today.
Mr. Chair, could I add one question?
You certainly may.
And for the general public, as I understand things, and I can be sophomoric on a good day, as I understand things, our liquor laws are constantly an effort of compromise between different opinions at the legislature.
Of course.
And as we do that, sometimes the laws can be in conflict or not give great clarity. And so on issues like this, sometimes the executive director is put in a position where she has to interpret what the legislature not just meant, but what the law actually says. And sometimes even that's in conflict. So
exactly.
If we were looking for clarity on an issue like this, and I'm not saying this issue is a part of that, but usually when our director is a very direct person who has a law degree. She can speak really clearly. And when she doesn't, I know not to tread any further. So my question would be, just so people can level set expectations on timeline, right? Whether that's code, policy, or rule, code would need to go back to the legislature, and any changes would happen potentially this legislative session, the Business and Labor Committee that you suggested, right? Any type of rule or policy change, what does that look like as opposed to just an operational change in terms of just timelines, so
Yeah.
people can know legally what we're dealing with? And they don't
Thank you
get
for those
frustrated.
questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a statutory change, to your point, goes to the legislature. The forms of IDs that are allowed are set by statute. So this wouldn't necessarily be a policy or rule change, but for education purposes, a rule is how we did the rules today, right? So it goes to the commission to be approved, then it goes through the rulemaking process for public comment, comes back to the commission for formal approval, and policy is set internal to the department. And we do our best to communicate with licensees about that and how it, if, when, and if it impacts them. I think this conversation has made it clear that we have a couple conversations to have, and happy to do that and do our best to educate licensees as well. So,
Thank you.
Yeah, excellent. Very much. Let's see, Tanner, you had your hand up, please.
Good morning, commissioners. I'm Tanner Leonard. I'm an attorney here in Salt Lake City, serving all of Utah with a lot of licensees as my clients. And as many of you know, I am a member of the National Alcohol Licensing and Compliance Professionals. I've been attending their annual conferences for about a decade. Several of you, as well as DABS staff, have been to those conferences in Austin and San Diego and Portland. And I'm thrilled to announce that after lobbying them for about 10 years, they are coming to Salt Lake City in 2028. This is a really huge achievement for Utah. When I asked 10 years ago for these hundreds of licensees and other attorneys in other states who do what I do to come to Utah, frankly, I was a little bit laughed at. But in the past 10 years, the responses that licensees from other states who have interacted with DABS staff and the changes to some of our liquor laws have really been encouraging to get national attention. So with that, I'm saying this for two reasons. One, if any of you are still serving in 2028, I'm going to be asking you to be on a panel. And two, because I just wanted to thank the staff, because even though I've been working hard for this, it wouldn't have happened unless the actual individuals behind all of our national brands, which includes hotels and restaurants, as well as grocery stores, all of them really having a positive experience in Utah. And hopefully we'll be able to take all their IDs by the time they get here.
I was going to say that, Tanner. Hopefully, we don't want to wait till 2028 to get this fixed. But
me either, but
yeah, no, exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly. Thank you. Well, those were the two hands that were raised. Anyone else feel compelled? Please, sir, come forward. You're welcome.
Hi, commissioners. I'm Sean Nevis. I'm one of the owners of Water Witch in Bar Nome, downtown Salt Lake City, also an applicant here today for Remora Bar. But want to thank the gentleman from Park City for bringing this issue of digital IDs and this new world that we're in. Just to give you a little bit of reflection on what we deal with as licensees, because none of us want underage people at our bars for multiple reasons. Is that we're now required to actually scan everybody who walks through the front door. I'm not sure when that went into effect. Tanner, was it last year? It was January 1, right? So like 90-year-old regulars, we ID them. They have to be able to be scannable. Probably the most used device is called an ID visor, and it's the most durable one. You can drop it on the ground, somebody can spill a beer on it, and it still works, right? And so the question is whether or not all of these new IDs are technically scannable, because we could be in violation potentially with the BCI, SBI investigation. Sorry,
SBI.
My wife used to work at BCI, just for the record.
SBI, yeah.
Yeah. So the SBI, they require us to scan everybody. So the technical question is, whatever the requirement is, has to be scannable, right? And so Just to give you a little bit of color on what we deal with on a daily basis, none of us want to see underage people in our bars. Knock on wood, we've been really good about that. We don't think we've ever had anybody in almost 10 years. So the scannability is the key technical component. Second question is, I don't know whether or not there's some sort of a forum or industry group where we can provide this important on-the-ground feedback to the legislature as these discussions go back and forth between the legislature and the commission. Because we know that your hands are tied. You have to deal with statute. There's very little rulemaking authority anymore. That changed a number of years back. But I think that these kinds of conversations with licensees would be really potentially useful, especially as the omnibus alcohol bills get written. Right.
Director, comment, please.
Yeah, I just want to clarify the 100% ID law is this January coming up. So I think we've been really working hard to educate you all so you know it's coming, and I'm really grateful you know that. So that's
well,
a good
we've been
indicator.
operating under that since we got word of it, just to try to get it wrapped. We have to make sure that we have clear systems for our door people. There's no confusion, and so it's just something that we're looking at.
Yeah, that's great. And the exact question that you're posing is part of that bill that we just talked about, the electronic scanning requirements for bars and restaurants. So we are actively advising on that. I think feel free to do so as well from various industry groups. We can maybe talk offline about who's active in that space. So
awesome. Thank you.
Sean, thank you for that insight. Thank you for sharing that. Please come forward. Give us your name and who you represent or where you're from, and we're happy to hear from you.
My name is Michelle Corigliano. I represent the Salt Lake Area Restaurant Association. We do a lot of lobbying in this area. We have been talking to legislators about this specific law. One of the issues is when tourists come from out of the country, they always leave their passports in their safe, and they have their driver's license and they are scannable, but they're not allowed to be taken. So we've looked at that as an issue, and we're hoping to rectify that. We also think that the 100% scanning is problematic when it comes to 80-year-old people going into a restaurant. We talked to the lobbyist for the hotels. He said, you know, we have an elderly person coming down from their hotel room. They don't have their license. We propose that maybe we raise the 35-year-old, someone looks over 35, they don't have to be scanned. Maybe we raise it to looking over 45, because SBI has been giving violations where someone isn't scanned because the bar thinks that they look over 35, and then SBI gives us objective violations saying that they don't. So we're working on it. We're hoping that the legislators will listen, but I just wanted to give you guys an update.
Chair?
Yeah, Commissioner Tui has a question, please.
Thank you for being here and for your comments. My question is, though, with the deadline we've mentioned that's coming up with the effective date of the new law that will essentially require 100% ID scan, this issue is going to sort of be moot, right? Because you'll be required to scan 100% of the time anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But you're saying that there should be some allowance for not scanning at a certain appearance of age.
Yes.
How do you think that, I mean, the aim of that law was to deal with like the interdicted person notice. How do you get around that with the age? Okay. I just wondered if you had thought through that at all.
You don't. And also one of the big problems that we asked Representative Eliason to handle is scanning 100% in restaurants. Restaurants can't afford, 30 scanners. It's just impossible. So he's been open to looking at that issue. And again, the interdicted license is an issue. So
okay,
there's a lot of unintended consequences that come with that law.
Understood. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Michelle. That was very insightful, and we have some things to work on, and we're committed to, in our roles, to make the necessary improvements because we want this to be, controlled, but but easy to work through if possible. So, Commissioner Tenner.
I know that we stand between, we're basically right going out into the lunch hour, and we're on time to have a record short meeting. So I apologize that I'm going to provide some public comment. But I wasn't going to say anything, but I just given that we've heard these comments from industry and operators, and I have such appreciation for the community that operates in good faith, and we work together, and we understand that sometimes there's laws that we need to kind of not work around, but we just need to work together to make sure that they make sense for our state, for public safety, and for our economy, for being business friendly.
Balance.
Yeah, totally. And so I just, again, hearing from you, I can't help but just I need to put something on the record. We approved an application today where we had some information come in that suggests that the operator either was engaged in some activity that was just a willful disregard for state law.
That's correct.
Or generously, maybe a misunderstanding of basic legal requirement, generously. And maybe even more generously, maybe we don't have full information and we need to let an investigation take place. And I'm trying to square that with a law that doesn't give us a whole lot of discretion if an applicant meets statutory criteria, the commission must approve the application. And so, again, I'm just putting out on the record my major discomfort with the fact that we approved that license, while also acknowledging what the law directs us to do. And I just hope that we can work with the community and with the legislature to, to find a reasonable solution. I don't want to go back to the days where we had someone standing up at the podium and we were asking them if they had 100% of their bar stools ordered, or if their neon sign was able to be plugged in and they were ready for opening. I'm not asking for that type of discretion, but I am asking for discretion when we have reports of, again, illegal activity. I am asking for discretion to at least follow up on that. So I appreciate that. I don't want to end on a bad note, because I think that everyone works so hard to do the right thing, and we have a really good thing going on. But again, after having, folks come up, and I appreciate you all so much, I just wanted to put that on the record.
Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Commissioner Conaby, did you have a comment, sir?
Just a quick one to try and make sure we end on a high note. How about that, Commissioner Tennant? Recognizing and appreciating all of Commissioner Tennant's comment, and I've known her for over a decade and know her to be incredibly bright and thoughtful in what she does. So I personally appreciate your comments. Love's a strong word, but I really like our executive director. She's incredibly bright. She's a lawyer by training, and she understands the alcohol code better than anybody here. And when we talk about decades of compromise and conflict, there's nobody in our state that understands it better than her, which is why when someone comes up to a podium and says, I've got a really easy problem to fix, I can't scan an ID and I need to serve this person, I don't know what to do, why she doesn't say it'll get fixed. Because she's smart enough to know she's not just representing our department in the state, but she's also representing you. So she has to represent law, code, and rule, and she has to represent what you need done. So I would just offer from my standpoint that in my limited experience of watching her and her colleagues and her department helps on the way. And I would just end on that high note. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
That's a very, very, very happy high note. We appreciate you, Erica, very much, and your executive staff very, very much. In our part-time role, we try to do what we're supposed to do. And there you go. So we wish all of you the happiest of holidays. Merry Christmas, however you celebrate. Lots of you will be traveling. We hope that you'll be able to do so in safety. One more motion, please.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you very much. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Go celebrate. Thank you, Commissioners Terrazon and Owens, for joining us. We wish you well as well.
Thank
We
you.
are adjourned.
Thanks.